Brazilian authorities will revive fraud case against Jorge Santos.
Here's a summary of the article.
Last week, the New York Times reported irregularities in Mr. Santos's campaign spending, including $40,000 on flights and payments for rent that are linked to an address where Mr. Santos is reported to be staying, a possible violation of the ban on using campaign funds for personal expenses. Continue reading the main story. The Times also disclosed that Mr. Santos had lied about graduating from college and had misled voters about having worked for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. The next step for Brazilian prosecutors is to file a petition when the courts reopen at the end of the week requesting that Mr. Santos respond to the charges against him. Neither the Justice Department nor Brazilian authorities can compel Mr. Santos to respond at this point. Mr. Santos must be officially notified in order for the case to proceed. If Mr. Santos does not present a defense in the Brazilian case, he will be tried in absentia. If found guilty, Mr. Santos could receive up to 5 years in prison, plus a fine.
This post received a score of 8,500, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Just a month before his 20th birthday, Mr. Santos entered a small clothing store in the Brazilian city of Niterói, outside Rio de Janeiro. He spent nearly $700 using a stolen checkbook and a false name, court records show. Mr. Santos admitted the fraud to the shop owner in August 2009, writing on Orkut, a popular social media website in Brazil, "I know I screwed up, but I want to pay." In 2010, he and his mother told the police that he had stolen the checkbook of a man his mother used to work for, and used it to make fraudulent purchases. So here we are, 13 years later. Wanting to pay is not the same as actually paying, it seems.
You can pay and still be criminally charged.
2 Brazilians in the news this week, Pelé and Pelator.
Less than grown greater than take your upvote.
Greater than he spent nearly $700 using a stolen checkbook and a false name, setting the pattern for later successes. Who's the money behind this fellow anyway?
Greater than, Andrew Intrata, money manager to Russian Viktor Vekselberg, gave $56,100 to committees tied to Representative-elect Jorge Devolda Santos, who called Ukraine totalitarian. Daily Beast.
Ironic that he then claims to be descendant of Ukrainian Jews.
This guy sounds like he was handpicked by the Russians.
Sounds like a red-blooded Republican.
There's the potential for a member of Congress to be tried in absentia and convicted in Brazil while being indicted in the US. So there's that. Sigh. Goddamn Nazis.
Is there no legal recourse that the public has besides voting him out? Feels weird that you can just lie about your entire life and resume, and if you get elected nothing can be done.
The House can vote to expel a member. It requires 2/3 majority, and it's only happened 5 times in the nation's history. He really never should have made it this far. It's really upsetting to me that his opponents didn't uncover any of these obvious lies early in his run. These are the kinds of lies that can be identified with a $50 background check. Whoever he beats sucks at politics.
Are we sure this guy even exists? It really feels like Sacha Baron Cohen is going to announce that Santos is one of his characters and that he didn't think a completely fabricated person would actually win the election.
I mean, the picture they keep using looks like someone spray-tanned a wax sculpture of Buddy Holly someone made just a tad too chubby in the face.
Another nail in his political coffin.
The goop margin is razor thin. Part of me thinks this dude could be literally the reincarnation of Pol Pot and McCarthy would still keep him around for his vote.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.